about to go downtown.
Downtown Kay.
Downtown. You about to go downtown.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and welcome to another week's episode of Downtown World with your girl Kay. Don't waste no time with negativity. Now, today I am very excited. We got Virginia in the building.
It's thirsty.
All right, we have Miss Hollywood, and you're definitely a queen in this media game, working consistently, doing your thing. You have your creative platform. You have your podcast going. I know you're also involved in a lot of things that are also not a part of your branding. But what I love the most about you is you're a Black female out here really putting in the work in the media industry. Welcome, Miss Hollywood. How you doing?
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I got sound effects too. So yeah.
I have mine too. Oh my God. Okay. She gave me the green light, y'all. Yes, I don't even have it with me. Oh my God.
It's all good.
Yes. Yes. We need one more.
Fun.
We need one more. Tell me you're Jamaican without telling me you're Jamaican.
I know. That's perfect. That's the. Oh my God.
All right. So I definitely I just love, as you can see, Miss Hollywood's energy is so contagious, and like there's no way I feel like I could be around her and not share my love for music and not have a smile on my face. And I love that about you. And I love your interviews, how I literally see, even when people try to be all like, by the end of it, they can't hold it with you because your questions are so amazing. You set the atmosphere. You are like just really, really doing the work, the media work out here. So what led you into like the media and entertainment realm?
Well, okay. So first of all, I grew up in a household that was media based. My oldest brother, he was a DJ at the time. And then my dad, he did a lot of dealings with like MC Light and some of the DJs in that rim. Cause I'm originally from Detroit. I was born in Detroit. So Motown, how could you not, be engulfed with that thing called entertainment? So that was like the first thing. And then we always had parties. Like it was no weekend that we never went out without having a party of some sort, whether it was their birthday, whether it's an anniversary, we will always celebrate. So that's where the first initiation of being like in this realm of entertainment. But just to like scurry along, so to speak, I was also in the band. So that played a big role. Like the marching band and stuff like that. When I was in, I started in 3rd grade. I played the saxophone, so all the way up until 12th grade. Nice. So that also, like I said, played a big role. And then just going to concerts, and it's just a whole lot of like experiences that I've went throughout my life when it comes to the entertainment. So those were just some of the ones, just to name a few. And then to this day, I created a platform where it's just like, it's bringing more attention to this thing called entertainment, including like from past guests, which was like OGs in the game, up until like the newer artists, the underground artists. So I'm bringing a rim of like, what is it called? The Oasis. I'm kind of like the Oasis of the entertainment right now. So that's pretty much where I've come from and where I'm planning on going.
No, I really love it. I sometimes it's so difficult for me to like, even when people ask me like, how do you know you're into music and stuff? Because I'm really into it, which I know you definitely are through watching your interviews, is like, it's almost like, when they show the UFO, the UFO stuff, and it's like the calling, like I can't describe, like, it's just something that like you were saying, I could see you're almost at a loss for words. There's just so many instances in our lives where we could just say it really drew us in. And especially coming from poverty, it's like seeing that, there was people like us on TV out there getting bread for something that like you enjoy doing. It's just something that was always attractive. Would you say that was one of the things for you as well?
Yes. And like I said, my parents, they played a big role in it, because like my dad, he was on the cover of Black Enterprise. So I always was like, I gotta be there. You know,
Yeah.
he was leading by example, and I'm like, dang, he's on the front of a magazine, and why can't I? So
Yeah.
that and then I also had an old picture. I should have brought it when I was in the newspaper, and so that also kind of sparked some things in me, it was just like,
That's such
if I could do this
motivation.
at such a young age, just imagine what I could do years from now. And so that's where I'm at with it now. And I've started to focus more on myself and what I need to do, and start taking advice for me, because I was the one that was always like, oh, I got an idea for you. I got an idea for you. The ideas started to spread, and I left nothing for myself. And so that's where
Mm.
the experience is kind of gathered in me. And so now it just led me to this point I'm at now, is just really putting the blinders on and focusing on myself. Like, this podcast is really saving my life in all actuality, because it was just
Mm.
like end all be all type situation. So
Mm.
pretty much, this is where I'm at with it right now.
And I love that you made that point, because being like a very affluent like hip hop listener, a lot of the
Mhm.
times the story is, hip hop saved my life, music saved my life. This person saw me on the street, they saw me on the corner, etc., and they brought me to the studio. And with that time being spent in the studio, but like that, that's it for media as well. Like,
Yeah.
and just that job of it. I want to know, what is one of the things that helps you wake up every morning and podcast?
Well, okay, so this is actually a recent happening for me.
Yeah.
It was like, I was like, you know what? Today I'm gonna wake up and just send out these emails and get in these people DMs and start following up, because I wasn't consistent with what I wanted to do. First of all,
Mm.
because I had a whole outline. I seen the bigger picture before, anything with my podcast. I was moving way too fast, so I had to kind of like slow down. And eventually I had to say, okay, if this is going to end all be all, you need to really put your best foot forward. Like, get your promo game up, get like your photos, get everything ready for the moment that is going to make you where where you're going to be. Because I see, like I said, a bigger picture. And so when I start sending those DMs out, I start getting responses, and I'm just like, I should have been doing this a long time ago. So like big people came out of the woodworks just agreeing to like all these interviews. I'm like, damn, okay. So if it's just as easy as that, what if I'll get a whole outline? Because I have a whole format on how I reach out to the guest, how I get them to book the session.
Mhm.
It's a whole outline now. I'm very, very organized when it comes to
Loved it. Loved
podcast.
it. Hmm.
And so they just started to, gravitate to me, and then my personality start to show even more. So I'm like, dang, I can really do this thing, podcasting. And as I went on, it just started to gradually just get better. Like, my scenery is getting better. My microphone is getting better. My setup is getting, it was just happening one after another. And so once I just really, like I said, put the blinders on, I'm just like, everything is happening now. Like, all I had to do was just open my mouth and do for me.
Mm.
So that's what I did. And so every day, and then and then on top of that, the research behind it. Like, I really do my research on all the guests that come on the show. Even if you're a local, even if you work at McDonald's or whatever, like, as long as you have some form of entertainment in your life, that is where my platform is. And I make sure I ask these questions that other people don't really get to hear often. And so I base my platform on getting to really know someone, like, really, really behind the music, behind the entertainment, like, behind it all. So that's pretty much what it is. It's really, it really helps when I do my research and get to know who these people are. Like, I'm always going to be a fan first, but then once it comes to actually having these conversations, it's like we're more alike than I would have ever known.
Yeah.
So that's another thing as well. Is just like getting to know who you are in the whole time frame as to getting to know someone else.
Beautiful. So a staple question that we ask here at Downtown World, don't waste your time with negativity, is what is a situation, Miss Hollywood, that you could definitely say that it was negative, but somehow, some way, you found a way not to waste any time with negativity?
Let me see. I think the only thing negative, as far as like my platform, I think when Instagram was hating, I think
Yeah.
Instagram was really, really like once I got on like the platform and started to record, sometimes when people started to talk about good things and positive things, it would break up. It was always something that was going on or happened, or just I would lose the whole video in general. And I couldn't even post. Like I've lost like at least 4 or 5 wonderful interviews, visuals now.
Jeez.
I have the audio, but I don't have the visuals to it because it just either just shut down or it says due to security reasons, something will pop up. And I'm just like, damn, I just did a whole hour and a half with MC Shan and I don't have this video. And if y'all don't know who MC Shan is, y'all need to do your homework. You feel me? So the bridge is over. The bridge is over. That's who that is. So,
yeah.
I lost that whole video, but I was just like, damn, Instagram, y'all hate. I couldn't save it. I couldn't share it. I couldn't do it. And that's about 4 or 5 of interviews like that. So I think that's the worst part or the negative part about everything, this whole process. Other than that, I'm taking it with people, they hit me up and be like, you could do this or you should do that. And then I reevaluate and then I make the changes as needed. Cause if you see the difference, it's like a whole new ball game. I got a whole new change.
Yeah.
So when I
love the green room. Yeah.
when people see it, they're like, yeah, you could do this. I'll take it into consideration. And if it does need changing, I immediately change it. And it's just like, dang, that look real dope. People then start to gravitate a little bit more. So that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. Would you say that the podcast space for you has been welcoming? Because on my end, like it's just like you said, people that are in the community, they'll give me advice, mic tips, back like just tips in general, like to see everyone win. And I love that within like the podcast community. Do you find you're having like the same experience?
I do. All of the feedback that I've been getting has been 95% at a higher standards, or like at a good review. But and people just welcome me with open arms. Some thought that their client or clientele was not fitting for my podcast, and this is not the way that I'm not going to mention any names, but this is not the way that they respond back to a podcast, or how a podcast or a host sends out stuff. And I'm just like, but it worked up until then and nobody else had a problem with it. So it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And then I actually contacted the person, not the actual the person that said it, but I contacted the direct person, and we ended up getting him on the podcast anyway. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like, it is what it is. I'm gonna get him on here, but you're not gonna talk to me this way. And so I had to let him know that, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry about what happened." He apologized immediately, and it was just like, "Yeah, you first of all, you don't even know who I am. And maybe you should do your research on who I am." But I didn't let it get that far. I screenshot it, I sent it to him, and he handled it. So, that was pretty much the only hiccup that I've had so far when it comes to these guests. But other than that, everybody else has just like, they just want to come up here and just, talk. It's like a therapeutic session, if that makes sense, for people to also know that who came before them, because I have a lot of like older generation that came before them that you're now sampling their songs. So give them their respect, give them their flowers, and now also mix it in with the newer generation. And so I'm trying to make sure everybody is pleased, if that makes sense. So in all actuality, trying to make sure that I'm giving off any positivity that I can when I talk to people. Excuse me.
No problem. I definitely love that. And for me, like at first, that stuff used to like bother me, or like sometimes how people would respond. But now being like in the fifth, going on almost 6 year of podcasting, like I
Wow,
just, yeah, like I just see it as like, you know what? I laugh it off. I see it as fun to like just see how everyone can kind of like goes to the process of getting their audio out, getting it like, you know what I mean? Even like with my experience, getting the client up with you, like it was a different experience like that I had, but I loved it. It was so like well structured. I love how the schedule was there. And like even me, it brought the thought to me where I was like, you know what, this is something like I really need to, even with the scheduling aspect of it, because sometimes, I'm just not there at my phone, or like things are happening, and I could see how
Real
that
life.
could make me miss an opportunity where someone could just have a link like you have and have your schedule right there and click it. So I chose to just make those, not be like annoyed or whatever by it, but like just making them really top tier, like learning experiences.
Yeah.
So
Yes, for
I love
sure.
that.
It makes it easier at the end of the day. It helps out a
Yes.
whole lot.
Yes. Yes. You put me on game that day. Here at Downtown World, we say eat fruit and mind your business. You gave me some fruit. You gave me some fruit. Okay. So another thing that really attracted me to you, Miss Hollywood, is because some people that have been listening for a long time, or people that personally know me, or they're following this movement, they know that one of my dream aspirations in life, prior to going to college, and I still have as a hobby up to today, is like DJing, like for real, for real.
Oh,
And
wow.
like, I know it's not like typical, or you look at my stuff, but it's one of those things that I just like love to do. Like I could come in from a long day and I will just like go set up my mixer, set up my board, everything.
Oh, you
And
have it.
like I will legit just DJ a set. Like that is my therapy. Yeah.
Oh,
So your show, I truly freaking love it, because you like interview all these DJs that I have such respect for in the game, and I know they really like they do this.
yes.
So what does that feel like to you when you, as you said, you've made a conscious decision to bridge the gaps in between, but like what really made you make that like decision and be like, these are the people that you need to talk to? Because um I don't want to like not say anyone's name, but I just want to say you guys need to go into Miss Hollywood's content. She like any DJ pretty much is who, like I'm waiting on my DJ premiere. I know that's probably coming Sunday sooner or later. Like I know you got that DJ who kid. I know I'm looking out because I know you're not fire. So seriously, like what led you to just be like, these are the DJs that you need to like talk to or get to know?
Well, some of them I have history with, like through just social media. Some of them I have come across through experience, because I am also a part of an organization by the name of the Core DJs, and
No.
I modeled for them at one point. But now
I
I'm
used to
just
get emails from them so long ago. Oh my gosh.
yeah. But that's
Yes.
probably like 2009. So I'm a vet. Like
Yeah, you
believe
do
it or
this.
not, I'm
You
I've
don't
been in
look like
the game.
it, but you do
Right. I've
this.
been in the game for like over about 20 years or so. Like really give or take. Cause I modeled. I've been in like the resume can take you somewhere. Like literally. But I don't have a lot of footage from it. So that's the only thing that I was missing. Like if I had what we have now, I think I'll be further along. But I love where
It's
I'm
a
at. Don't get me
process.
wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But as far as the DJs, yeah, I'm a part of a coalition DJs, not coalition DJs. I'm sorry, I'm a part of the
Core DJ.
organization Core DJs, and so that kind of bridged the gap for me as well when it came to breaking artists, and the DJ is important, and just once you get the backstory of something, it seems more interesting for you, and
Yeah.
actually growing through it and just going to these conferences, because also the conferences had a big part in it, because MC Shan, he was at the conferences, DJ Red Alert, like all of the people that came before me, and just actually being in the same room with them, hearing them talk, and just having conversations with different people, different artists. It was just just a melting pot of knowledge, and there was no way you cannot take that knowledge in. And so, like I said, I just been in contact with them through social media, and I'm just like, okay, well, it's why not? What's your availability? And I was in the DM heavy, and that's one thing. Another thing that you have to do is the follow up is very, very, very important when it comes to wanting somebody to be a part of your guest, or because sometimes people just don't do that. But yeah, that's just how it pretty much works. I just been in contact and building relationships with people outside of Virginia, and I used to travel and go to these coalitions and go to conferences and stuff like that. So that's pretty much how I get most of my DJs, and just like I said, inboxing them and figuring out after that, because I'm still learning. I'm a teacher and I'm a student at the same time.
Definitely, always a student, for real.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love that. So I wanted to know, what is it like, if you could say that you love the most about hip hop?
Ooh, I love the fact that if I were to listen to something today, in the era that I really, really love, which is like 80s, late 90s, early 2000s, like if I heard a song, I can remember where I was that day I heard it. So it always brings back an experience for me. Yeah. And so I'm like, dang, I was right here. I was only this age. It brings it back. It brings forward a positive memory in your head, in my head. And it's just like, dang. And then it just trickles down, down to something else. So that's pretty much what I love about it. Is just bringing back the good memories of what hip hop used to be and what hip hop is now.
I really love that. Yeah, hip hop, I feel like at times it was even like my babysitter.
Yeah.
like I was telling someone the other day, I was like, damn, like I remember getting my first pair of headphones. You remember those old school headphones
my God.
with the silver?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna age myself really, really bad. So me and my brother, so like I said, my birthday was Sunday. Me and my brother, we just started reminiscing. And
happy birthday again, love. Happy birthday.
Talking about like cassette tapes and what we had to do to record and stuff like that. So I have brought up the Talk Boy. I don't know if you guys remember the Talk Boy, which is it had a handle on it, and you would record yourself into the Home Alone Talk Boy. So we were talking about that, and I'm just like, man, we came a long way from from where we were.
Long. I definitely used to take my mom's and like freaking record Bear like over, and she would probably have a tape in there where she had her gospel like cassettes in there, and like you would hear like amazing, and like it would like I would record radio shows over it, the whole shit. Like I was young.
Yeah, be mad as hell. Sorry, be like, dang.
To this day, I can, you know what? I'm really gonna go the next time I go to her house and really like look for one and play it for you guys, because no,
kids these days won't know that.
They won't.
And then another thing for me also, back in the day, the radio stations, they used to have like call in and what was it? And tell us these 9 songs, you win tickets to this, that, and the third.
Yes.
Oh, I was on that heavy as well, because I will always win. Like I'm always. That's where I had my first concert.
You're a superhero.
And that's probably another thing I can add to like my entertainment experience is just winning things off the like meet and greets, and it's just like meeting people early in age, and then like it's just meeting your fans, and then working in the clubs, and it's just like I was just around it all my life, and I love it to this day.
I really love that. I really love that. So I want to know, what is your goals, or what are you like hoping to attain with like the Miss Hollywood brand?
Let's see. First of all, I want to be I set a goal for myself to be iHeartRadio's #1 podcast.
Love it. You can do it.
And so that was my main goal for that. For my other brand, I don't know how I want to have my own cannabis strain. For
Okay.
those that that indulge.
What's one of your
Um,
favorite strains right now?
I don't really have a specific one. I just know that I want to have my own because I've been ever since seeing it firsthand, like someone build it from the ground up and actually going through it and being the first Black person to do this, and like
Mm-hmm.
that side of the entertainment side is way different than the regular side. So I want to,
Definitely.
graduate to over there as well because it all comes together. As some of the guests that I've had on my show, they definitely indulge and they got sponsorship and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like it's so much stuff you can do with just that in particular. So
Yeah.
that's another one. And then more than likely have some type of merchandise or something creative on the creative side as well.
Yeah.
And then I do a little dib and dab with the candid photography as
Yeah.
well. So I mean that's pretty much it. But my main focus was the iHeartRadio. I had to think about that because I was like, man, what am I gonna do with a podcast? Like you can listen to the first episode and it's just like, hey guys, it's your girl. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to see if I could talk by myself for a whole hour because I'm used to having like interaction with other people. And so I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, let me see. Y'all gonna hear it too. So and it's not deleted, it's all raw, uncut. Like
It's all the process.
yeah, it's just it is what it is, and I love it. And so that's pretty much it for my brand as of right now. And possibly I just introduced the green room, which is where artists can perform and do like a one song thing. So I put that into effect and it came out really, really dope. So I shot the video. So listen, I'm hands on when it comes to all this. So
Well,
yeah.
that was the next question I was going to ask you. I myself am independent, as most people know. And, yeah, it's great. Everything comes to you, but also you're the one giving of everything, to get everything done.
Yeah.
What is some of your pros and cons of being independent so far in the media industry?
The pros of being independent is you call the shots. Like you control what you put out. And it's your image, it's your brand, it's everything that is yours. Because I'm normally used to sharing things, and this is
Mm,
the only thing that I really can say that is all mine,
mm,
and not think anything else about it. The cons would be the money you got to put in it. I know it's not like if you want the best, you got to have the best, if that makes sense. And
yeah,
so you have to invest in it, but it can also be a write-off. So it's a on the fence with the con, but other than that, um it's been kind of easy getting guests, but also hard at the same time because sometimes their schedule doesn't match.
yeah,
Um But that's pretty much it. I think I just started to I love it so much and I've become to love it even more over time when you physically doing everything yourself. That's
yeah,
another thing that I would also would want a little bit more help when it comes to like editing these videos or
yeah,
mixing this stuff. I do have help, but I would, that's the
yeah,
only little bit more that I would need. Like somebody repost it,
yeah,
alley oop for a word of mouth, I can only do
yeah.
so much. And
We
then the
could only
guests
do
can only do so much. So
facts.
yeah.
Facts, definitely. And another con for me, but I've definitely learned to maneuver through it is like being a female speaking to so like in a male dominated industry, especially with like the hip hop community.
Yeah.
Some may, slide or try to get besides the professional point. And I
Yeah.
feel like, just I've learned to not like be like this reacting to it, but finding my way to go around that. Have you encountered anything of the sort or any lessons you want to share with other women out
Um,
there?
just because I've been there, done that. Because I got four brothers. I'm the youngest girl, and I'm the only girl. So I was,
Same.
It's nothing for me to be like, no, I'm good. Or, I've had the experiences of people approaching me on like another level of like outside of professionalism, and I've handled it very well. So you just have to make sure that your morals and everything that you're about is there for first and foremost. You know what I mean? Because some people don't have that same outlook. So, but as far as yourself, just make sure that they don't check, they don't try to check you, because there's a lot of dominating women out there to this day that doesn't get checked. Miss Deb, I'm pretty sure she don't get checked. No. Like Trina, those women
shout out to Miss Deb, real OG.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Deb. And it's just a lot of now it's a lot more positive female role models that can also help. So so that's also kind of helped me throughout this time too, because sometimes if you're in a male dominated situation, sometimes it will hinder you and whatnot. But like I said, keep the blinders on. Don't worry about nobody else but what you got going on, and just keep it pushing, because like I said, I've had the experiences, I've outgrown them. I'm like, I've been there, done that, I'm good. So just keep 10 toes down, pretty much.
Facts, 100. Can we get another air horn for that one?
Hot air. So hot in her.
Don't get me active up, Miss Hollywood. I love it.
Activate.
Oh, you can't. How do you know? You don't even see the knee movement right now. Okay.
Kids these days won't
know. They won't. Like, Megan, come on. We got drop your eagle on. Like, we got all that. Okay. So thank you for entertaining me. So
it's all good.
So another staple question that we have here at Downtown World is, you have the 5 elements. You have water, air, fire, earth, and spirit. Which element do you feel like represents you or you resonate with the most, and why?
That's a good question, because I never really thought about it. List them one more time for me.
No problem. Air, fire, water, earth, spirit.
Right now I would say spirit, because I'm also on a more spiritual journey, as far as like finding worth within myself, finding the value within myself. And like I said before, I used to tell people, like, do this, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and not reflecting it back into my life. And so once I started to do that and like really invest in myself, that's when things started to change for me, and like take accountability for my actions, change when I need to change, and work on myself, like in real life. Like, even though you're living in the moment, you still have to work on what you have, your current self. And I have an 8-year-old, so that's another thing that I have to live for. So I just had to make changes, and once those changes were made, and it just went up from here. I'm here, I got an interview with you, so we're here, and it's just the old me, so to speak, the personality is coming back out in forefront, and people are taking me more seriously than I think I've ever had in my career. So I think spirit would be the best way to explain the journey that I'm going on and experiencing right now.
It's beautiful. And with everything going on in the world, and we're going through this whole panini, something none of us have ever experienced before, like, what are just one of the largest adjustments you've had to just kind of go through since this period, even being like a mother and running your company, still maneuvering, building, like, the rent guy didn't say, the panini's here, so don't worry this month, I got you. Like, he did not. He said 31st at midnight.
Anybody home? We don't care.
All right. All right. Shoot, we need another air horn in this bitch. For real.
So fortunately, I had my significant other with me to, help me as far as like through the emotional side and that side of it. But on the note of like my child, he had to be homeschooled. So that I had to switch out. I had to be like a work from home mother. And so that was another reason why I came up with this platform, my platform, the podcast. I can do the podcast while he's upstairs on in school. Yeah. And so, and then eventually, monetize from it and, do what I need to do. So I became more independent on myself rather than going back to the nightlife or working as a bartender or waitress or whatever, because at that time things were shutting down. The panini came through and just fried up everything. And everything. So I still made a way out of nothing. But it was a shift that I guess I don't want to say I was ready for, but I'm always making adjustments, so to speak.
You were technically ready for it, because I've definitely studied and learned, like, with humans, there's a certain kind of like with animals, how, they know when it's time to start gravitating and moving. There's something subconsciously that like lets us know, yo, it's time to, kind of prepare for things. So you're not off by saying that at all.
Yeah. So that's, that's pretty much what happened is, I was still on, how what is it, the Titanic when it was up there like this, that's exactly how it was,
literally.
But then I changed around, and now I'm the girl that's floating on the actual boat. So it's you can look at it at all aspects right now. How my life had changed and it's continuing to change. So yeah, that was a good reference. That soundbite is gonna be amazing. No?
It is, and I love that.
Thinking of that as well. Like as soon as something like that, I'm just like immediately, ooh, I could use that. That's so that helps too. But yes, we
like sometimes like certain people that I've had the experience of working with, they ask me like, how do you like know how to do that? Or like even this, like the whole time we're doing the interview, I already mentally know where I'm going to slice, where I'm going to dice, where I'm going to, everything. It's like after doing it for so many times and you do your editing and things, it's like, it's almost like your brain is trained. Like you have real producer credits out here.
Yeah, so, right. Big facts.
Yes. So you must celebrate yourself. You must.
Yes. And I had to learn that as well, is you shouldn't wait on others to celebrate you, because that's what you have. So I have so many credits out here, and then you don't get the credit you deserve. So then you start getting down on yourself, and then I'm just like, nah, fuck that. I know I did it. I got the proof or whatever. Exactly. I got it. So it is what it is. If I want to post it, I'm gonna post it. If I want people to know about it, I'll do it. Shit. I'm not about to keep waiting. I can't keep waiting on somebody to alley-oop me. Like, I'm good. As long as I'm still working and moving and you can jump on this train as it going, hey, but you're not about to stop this train. Ew.
And like, you, as we spoke today, everyone, I hope they put on notice, like you are a part of so many things, and mental health is, especially now with seasonal depression, something I'm definitely aware of. Check on your strong friends out there. How do you do it all? How do you practice self-care in your life, Miss Hollywood? You're a mom, you're media mogul, you're in the entertainment industry, you're part of organizations. Like, how do you do it all? How do you create space for you?
Another thing is the podcast, because the more I talk, the more I get more comfortable with just my life. Because like I said, I'm doing research. And so it's just, once I do research and I find out something that I never knew about that person, it sparks another light bulb in my head, in which gives me more inspiration to go on to the next one, and then to the next one, then the next one. So this is technically my therapy in a sense, because like I said before, my first episode, it was like, I just want to talk to y'all, like, because you don't always have a voice, and then sometimes even if you have people to talk to, they still don't get it, and so
No.
it came to that point sometimes, and I'm just like, well, maybe I could, talk on a podcast and just talk about feelings or just whatever, have conversation. So technically, this is kind of my therapy at the end of the day.
It's
And
beautiful.
I wouldn't be as comfortable as I was. Like, had you caught me like a year or two ago, I'd be like, oh, I'm so nervous and my anxiety. Like, I just was all over the place. But now I'm just as comfortable as I can be. I'm just like, okay, it is. You're gonna take me for what it is. So that's pretty much what it is.
I love that. I love that. Right? So I would like to know, Miss Hollywood, if there was something that you would have told your younger self, what is something that you would have shared?
Wow. To this day, let me see. I would say communicate more. Like, get your feelings across before it's too late. Because for you can hold on to something, and it may not be the same as what you felt at your initial reaction. So always speak with like with your heart, and always speak when it actually happens, or when something happens, even if it's good, even if it's bad. Like, make sure you let it out, because that can just keep bothering you over and over and over again, because you like, I should have did this, I should have did that, and then you put yourself back into the I should have, could have, would have stage. So you never want to get into that. And so that's what I would tell myself, is to speak up and just have your voice be heard every time. Not just sometimes, all the time. So yeah.
So since, I know you're musically diverse, and now I know you're a part of Core DJs, shout out to them every time. I would love to know, give me your top 5
Top 5
hip hop artists.
Oh,
Let's go.
now you got to do that. Let's see. Top 5. I hate answering this question. Because I am, of course, okay, I'm going to exclude the Biggies, the Pacs, and the Jay-Z's, of course, because that's always the top 5 of folks. But when I'm originally from Detroit, but I was raised in Tennessee, so I got more of the down south, southern type background. So
Toronto fucks with the South.
yeah, like I say, like, I like the 3 6 Mafias. Like, I'm the big
Legendary.
fan. Top 5. Jesus. Top 5 that I could, because these are people that I could go back and listen to these songs right now to this day and sing every word for
Yeah.
word. Man, this is a hard one. I would say I want to say Jeezy is in my top 5.
Okay.
Bone Thugs and Harmony in my top 5.
Okay.
Shucks. I don't know who else.
You got Jay-Z, you got Bone Thugs and Harmony, you got 3 6 Mafia.
Yeah, that I could just go back and listen to. Lil Wayne, of course.
Most definitely.
That's a hard one. I think that's it. I don't.
Yeah, one more. One more.
Who do I really, really like that I could just? Jeez. Of course, the Pacs. I'm okay. Let's go with Tupac. Let's just throw him in there.
All right. That's a heavy list. That's a heavy list. That's a heavy
Appreciate it.
list.
I got to think about it. Now that you've asked that question, I need to really sit down and think about who my top 5 are.
Mine's always changes. It's around the same like entities of people, but like around the same scope.
Gotcha.
And I got Ghostface in there. I got Black Thought in there. Of course, Hove. I got Aubrey Graham in there. And not just because I'm from Canada, but like that boy knew the shit. That boy knew, okay? Don't, you know? So I know Funk Flex tried it, but Drake, he knows what he's doing. And that's why that was the only person that really tried it. You know?
Yeah, Houston Land, man, I can go back and listen to So Far Going right now.
I literally just bumped that like yesterday. Because for me, with being...
People don't get it.
They don't. But it speaks to what you were even saying earlier, where it's just like there's certain songs, and Drake was a part of that era, you know, early 2008, even 2009. A lot of people knew 2010, but like 08, 09, like those are years he was really like, you know, grinding to get that.
Those are his Kanye West moments, like the college dropout moments. So I would compare that to like that Drake back then is just like way different from now. Like
yeah,
little bit song
a little bit in love with you.
Oh my god, that's it.
I'm in my living room like
man,
you see what I'm saying?
I don't know that.
Another air horn. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? But you know,
no skip at all.
Even as large as comrades, people that, you know, publicly said they don't fuck with him, what they say next to that or before that is he's an amazing musician. And that like on some Frank Sinatra shit, there's certain people that you can never take that from.
Big facts.
Like regardless of how you feel. So
big facts.
Yeah.
100%.
So Miss Hollywood, you mentioned how you do self-care with yourself via podcasting and your media platform. So I want you to let everyone know, I see you kind of mentioned a couple of days ago, you've been working on your book or a title for your book. So I want to know what inspired your book that, you know, you soon will be marketing, letting everyone know a bit more about. I'm just being a little bit fast. I'm not eating fruit, minding my business, and seeing what you can let us know about that book to come.
Well, it's actually my son's book. So my mother, she wrote it, and
beautiful.
Yeah, she wanted to get him something started because we had initially started something with the Legos, and he used to build like on YouTube.
Yeah.
But now my mom, she was like, man, we should do something for him and maybe I can write a book. And I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, then write it. And I know an animator or, you know, somebody that draws characters for a living and stuff. Because I have a comic book character that he drew me like years when I was in college. So I still have it. And I'm like, maybe he's, you know, he can do that. So I was just like, okay, well, let me hook this up. And then so my mom, she wrote the whole thing. She read it out and whatnot. And she sent me a copy of it. And I'm like, dang, this is really happening. So let me get on the ball. So I hit him up. He sketched. I sent him a picture of my son. He sketched the picture. And I was like, wow, because it's about glasses. Because my son just recently had to get glasses and start
wearing. Shout out to the glasses gang. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. Okay, it's on my driver's license, everything. You're gonna be all right. I know you're gonna walk into places and your lens may fog, but you're gonna be all right.
So but yeah, it's about his experience from the time he got him, and you know, he really influenced some of the kids that wore the glasses to put them on, like to consistently put them on, because at least like 4 people when he went back to school, because it was, what was it? It was last year when he went back to the virtual learning. It was like, wow, Jaden, you wear glasses? He was like, yeah. And it was like 4 or 5 kids just ran and got their glasses and put them on. And even the teacher put them on. And that's where the inspiration came from. And my mom was like, what? I was like, yeah, they just put on their glasses.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah. So she began to write the book, and yeah, we're here. I can't show you any of the pictures yet because we still getting it started, but yeah, that's what I was looking for, a title for my son's book.
No, I truly, truly love that. And please don't hesitate to let me know when that comes out. I really love to support this Young King's book and get that support going, because that's what it's all about. I want you to let everyone know, Miss Hollywood, where they can follow you, where they can support you, and also we're normalizing over here how you prefer to be approached.
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram, MISS Hollywood 313. Follow my podcast, So Hollywood the Podcast. My website, www.allofhollywood.biz. And yeah, I think that's, you can YouTube, cross the board, everything, everything has So Hollywood the Podcast. Just Google me and you'll find me some way, or either Miss Hollywood, one or the other. Either my modeling career will come up or either my podcast career. So it's all good either way it goes. I
love your modeling pictures. I'm gonna have to come get some game from you.
Thank you.
How to get it spicy like that. Listen. I see you, Miss Hollywood, but I'm like, I'm gonna let it be. I see you. I was like, all right.
I try. I mean, your looks can only go but so far. So I did that. Now
you're gorgeous in and out. And
I want to be comfortable, because sometimes it wasn't. You had to.
Listen.
That's another whole other interview. But
heavy tomboy flows over here.
Comfortable. You understand me? You're gonna accept me. Like, this is
exactly.
You're gonna accept me where I'm at.
Exactly.
But you can the way to approach me is through my email, so hollywoodthepodcast@gmail.com. After that, I'll send my number, and that's just that,
That's just that. I truly love this conversation. I love everything you represent. I will continue to be a fan, and I know this won't be the last time that we're communicating and speaking with each other, because I really love meeting Black women out there really doing their thing, especially in this media game. You've talked to us today about, the times when you weren't consistent versus the times that you were, and just a huge impact that's happening in your life. And this podcast is all about that, getting in the mindset of winning, and sometimes, like we were speaking earlier, you're so caught up in the mix, you don't even realize as much as you've done. So it's so great. I feel so honored when I'm able to take a pause with people like yourself and just be like, yo, you're doing it and you're doing the damn thing. So thank you. Truly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Cause like I said, this is the first that I've had an interview for my podcast, or just podcast based. So this is really, really dope for me.
No, it's dope. You guys make sure to subscribe and follow Miss Hollywood. This won't be the last time you're seeing her. Make sure you're supporting her. Get your game up. Learn about, all the DJs, all the music, the sampling. It's really important, Even I caught myself slipping the other day. I won't even do that to the young people. I was caught slipping. Miss, I know all this music. I didn't realize, I was here listening to that Meek and A$AP Ferg track, Bia. And I was like, don't you feel kind of weird? Like, why would they make a diss track? Like, why they be using her name like that? Completely forgetting the fact that that was a huge Little John record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we all get caught slipping at times. That's why it's
double
important.
entendre.
That's why it is 1000% important to tune into people like Miss Hollywood so that we are educated and can properly give people the credit where it's due. Yeah. So thoroughly thank you.
For sure. I appreciate it. Like I said, yeah, man, it's just good to have others, you know, that's doing the same thing and giving you your flowers. And we're gonna do the tables turn. So you're gonna come on my show as well. So
I tried not to bring it up again. I was like, babe, she forgot.
Nah, I don't forget nothing. No sirski. No Betty.
Cursing you. Oh my gosh. But yes, you got me. You got me. I was like, God
Break
damn it.
the ice.
You got me. God damn it. Well, guys, I think this is the perfect way to end today's show. I want to thank you again, Miss Hollywood, for your time. She came with us today. She chose not to waste any time with negativity. She ate fruit, mind her business. I did not. I truly thank you for your time, and you can close out the show today. You let everyone know. Yeah.
What? Just
anything you want to say, random. I don't care. You're gonna have the last voice on this, and I'm gonna end it out.
Shout out to Downtown World. Shout out to Kay. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in to the podcast. You like my podcast voice?
I love it.
Oh, and I want to get into that too.
Voiceover. You should.
Listen, let's
definitely
start a female. Let's do Tiana Taylor it. Let's start a female voiceover, black on. You feel me? Like
1000%.
Did you see that idea that just happened?
1,
just like that voiceover.
1000%. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Right.
Downtown World. Have a great day. We out.